Hi, little artist everywhere. It's Mrs. O'Brien here. How many of you were able to watch the opening of the 2020 Summer Olympics last night that's taking place right now as we speak with all the different events going on in Japan? That's right. I know it's the year 2021, but we still call it the 2020 Olympics because of the pandemic. So it's taking place a year later. The Olympics started over 100 years ago, and the first one was held in Greece. And since then, it was supposed to be every 4 years, but then they decided to separate the Summer Olympics and the Winter Olympics. And so now it's on a 2 year cycle, depending on which sport you are interested in. The winter being on in 2 years, and then the summer will be again in 4 years for the Summer Olympics, for the summer athletes. So today, what we're going to do is we're going to start out with our picture horizontal, and then we're going to put the 5 Olympic rings, which I know you're familiar with, in the middle. And then we're going to think of many of the sporting events that will take place in the next 2 weeks that we can to draw around them. I have a little shout out for 3 of my little artists. One, I saw him and his sister at a craft store yesterday, and they've been busy drawing all summer long, so I thank them for that. And then I also have another shout out to a little artist that I met this morning, and she can't wait to get started. She actually gave me a great idea for one of our sporting events that I had forgotten about, and that is the equestrian events. And the equestrian events involve anything that has to do with horses. So that's a fun event to think about. And then the last one goes out to a former student of mine who must be very proud indeed. He was born in Japan, and so I know that he is excited about his home country hosting this year's Olympics. All right, let's get started on our drawing. The first circle that we're going to do starts with kind of a royal blue, and each of the 5 circles stands for one of the 5 continents. And the blue one stands for Europe. And these circles on the top, these 3 circles that go across the top, are not touching. And so then the second one is going to be a black one. And so you're going to draw a black ring next to the blue ring, and that one stands for the continent of Africa. Think of all the countries that are in the African continent, and from Kenya to Uganda to oh gosh, there's so many that we could all think of. And then there is the next one that is a red one, and that is both of the Americas, North America and South America. Again, that's Brazil and Chile and El Salvador and Mexico and Canada and the United States and all sorts of other representation from the Americas. And then interlooping in between the blue and the black is kind of a gold color, and that represents our Asian continent. And you can think of all of the countries that are involved in Asia, from Iran to Iraq to Indonesia to Japan, I guess would be included in that, and China and Russia. And then we also have the last one, which is a green ring. And the green ring is going to overlap with the black and the red. And that one, that continent stands for the continent of Australia. And I'm sure it includes New Zealand and all the athletes that come from down in the southern hemisphere near the continent of Australia. So I've got my 5 rings in the middle of my picture, and now I'm just going to start with everything I can think of that has to do with the Olympics. And I'm going to start with the Japanese flag. And I think I'm going to put that Japanese flag, since that's the host country, with that white background. It's one of the easiest flags to represent, and it's got a white background, so I'm going to do kind of a black outline of the flag shape. And then right in the middle, and I'm putting this right above my rings, right in the middle is a big red circle. And that red circle stands for the sun, because of where Japan is, the sun rises in the east. Very, very big and bright and beautiful. And then it's on a white background to represent the people of Japan. And then I'm going to think of the three big prizes. Do you all know what they are? It's the gold medal, the silver medal, and the bronze medal. So I am going to get out another yellow. I'm going to put these hanging right below the 5 rings. And I'm going to put a gold medal, and I'm going to put a silver. I'm going to have to use a gray, I guess, for the silver. And then I am going to put a kind of an orangey color for the bronze, kind of a bronzy color. So there are my 3 medals, and I'm going to just put some sort of a fun ribbon coming up from them. What's my pencil broke? So just a fun kind of ribbon hanging up from those. I'm not going to put them around anybody's neck yet because we don't have any winners that I know of yet. I've got to watch tonight to see, but okay, so I've got my gold medals, and now we're just going to go. Let's start with a horse, because that is that equestrian event, and there's all sorts of ones. So I'm going to draw this up in the upper left-hand corner, but again, you all can put it wherever you want. And then after I finish sketching in that quick little horse, remember that if you get frustrated, just pause the video, because you don't have to go as fast as I am going. And then we'll put that horseback rider on the top there, and that horse is ready to go. I've got the pretty mane, and now I am going to go with, oh, you know what? I'm going to go with target shooting, archery. So a big circle there with lots of colorful ones. I'm putting this on the right-hand side of my paper. And I don't really know what a target exactly looks like, but I know it's lots of rings. And then within that, I am going to do a bow and arrow, with that arrow facing towards the archery. All right, how about all that track and field? Let's think about that for a minute. I'm going to draw a circle down at the bottom that's got that red, kind of red clay, and maybe make it look like a big oval, because that's that track and field. But in the middle of the track and field, there are going to be people doing the long jump and throwing the javelin, and people doing the high jump. So any of those kinds of things that you might want to put in the middle of the ring, with the vault coming down and the person jumping up into the air. And I'm going to put some track stars running on my track. Some of them will hold a baton and pass it. It's so exciting, and all the different distances there. Let's see. We can't forget, we'll go with the other big one. That's the gymnasts. And I'm going to draw a gymnast on the balance beam. So the balance beam is up high off the ground. And I'm going to put a gymnast up there walking with her arms out straight. And then maybe we'll do a male gymnast on the, let's see, we'll put one of her legs sticking up too. We'll do maybe a male gymnast on those double rings. That's so much fun to watch. I don't know how they really do it. I just really don't. The strength that they have to have their bodies up in the air and hanging on those strings. I don't know how that really looks. I'm sure that actually looks like weightlifters for me. But anyway, that'll be all right. We can put, how about a weightlifter? Let's do that. And did you know that karate was a new sport this time? So you could actually draw a karate person in their white outfits, maybe give them a black belt. I think that's karate, if I'm correct on that, because there's judo and there's some other things too. But again, we're just doing this sketching for fun, and I am just your motivation. You know what else we could put? How about the torch? The torch for, I'm going to put that up near the flag, because every time, every country has that torch of the burning flame. I'd have to research more exactly what that means, but the flame stays lit the entire time. So I'm going to put that next to the flag with a big flame coming out of it. And then light that torch, and each home country gets to pick a person to represent their country and do that flame. All right, let's see. We're running out of time here, so what I'm going to do next is just all the kinds of the types of balls that I can think of that people are going to be using. I'm going to start with yellow, and I'm going to put this underneath the medals. There's a yellow tennis ball, and I'm going to do a black and white soccer ball. How many of you are going to tune in to soccer? I don't know exactly how to draw that soccer ball, but that will be good enough with some black in it and some, there we go, a soccer ball. And then there's also basketball. We'll draw basketball. And there's even softball and baseball. So you might want to put a softball down. Those are whites. It might be hard to show up. They've got that red stitching. So we can just put that red stitching on there. Basketball, softball, tennis ball. If you think of any more, add those other balls. We can't forget swimming. All right, so I'm going to draw a swimming pool down here at the bottom. And I'm going to draw some swimmers in their swimming lanes. Let's see. I haven't used this color yet. I think I'll put this person swimming. Actually, looks like they're floating if I put their arms like that. So I'm going to put them out like that, kicking those feet, and there they go, reaching for the side. And then I'm going to do a diving board because I love watching the diving. Do you all like watching the diving? Like a big ladder that they have to go up to get onto that diving board. And I'm going to put the blue water underneath. And I think I'm going to put somebody's legs just coming kind of out of the swimming pool that they've just done that perfect dive in. And the goal is to do as small of little splashes you can get so they point their toes up high. Their little feet going right down into the water. All right, bicycle riding. Let's not forget bicycles. And a new event this year also is skateboarding. If you thought about doing a skateboard on your paper. There's also surfing. Surfing, can you believe that? They're going to be surfing in the ocean off the Japanese coast, and they're going to be scored on how many waves they can catch in a certain amount of time, I read, and some other fun things. So surfing might be fun to draw a picture of. I'm going to put a big wave coming in with the ocean. I'm going to put a surfer there with the surfer coming in on, how about a green surfboard? And draw that little surfer just standing there with his arms out, and it might be a girl surfer or a boy surfer, it doesn't really matter. And then I have room for a sailboat up here because there is definitely boating. And how about a canoe? I think there's that kind of boating. Rowing, I guess I should say it is, because they're rowing in a rowboat and they work as a team with those rows coming down. Put all the people in the rowboat. All right, boys and girls, I think we have got it. We've got the track and field, the swimming pool, the gymnastics. Do you know gymnastics also has that pretty part where they do the dancing with the ribbons? That one's kind of cool. Maybe I'll stick somebody over here with a big ribbon in their hand. All right, and then if you want to label yours with, the 2021 Olympics and the word Tokyo, you could also label your rings if you want to. I can't wait to see your pictures. So please, if you can get your parents to snap a photo of them, they can leave all the editing to me and just send it to youillustrated@gmail.com, and I will share your pictures in a picture parade on this YouTube channel, You Illustrated with Mrs. O'Brien. All right, the big reveal, guys. Here is my Olympic tribute to our athletes that come from all over the world. All right, boys and girls, I hope you have fun watching the Olympics this week and next week, and also be kind to one another and keep smiling.